the situation would be like that, right? The blue color you can see the external contour, the red color is the internal contour. And if you try to match it with this part, you look at it, if I cut it in between say 50% height here, now what is going to happen? You see this blue color is this external contour and this red color is this internal contour. Similarly, again, this is the blue color external contour. Internal, this is internal contour, right? So this is the cross-section image available for us for the layer deposition. Our material to be put it into the layer. Then next we have to generate the nozzle path. So look at this in the cross section. Every boundary of the polygon serve as the purpose to decide the laser should be on here, off here. Then continue, this is the laser path, right? So on very first point it will be laser on, off. So in between this the material will be deposited. Here the laser will be switched off, so no material deposition will take place, right? Here the material again deposit, then again deposit will be on, then again deposit will be on, right? So in this situation, this kind of nozzle path we have to generate, right? After generating this nozzle path, then we can proceed for the machining, right? So this is all about the data preparation, principle of additive manufacturing process, right? And look at this. Let me show you on in another software how the part will be made, right? Let me run open another software and you let me know if the screen is visible. I hope my entire desktop is visible to you.
Yes.
Look at that. If I open this model, can you see that three spheres inside each other? This type of model cannot be built by anything else. थोड़ा वेट कर लो, भोला आ रहा होगा या भोला को फोन कर लो कि कहाँ है यूसीएससी, तो यहीं बैठ के चेक कर लेंगे. So look it into this. This is the three spare one each and other. This kind of part without making any joint, without any support, all these three spares are movable with each other, right? Let me show you also. Is this along with this? Can you see my camera? Can you see some product in my hand?
Yes, sir.
You can see it,
Yes, sir.
right? So you see the three spheres are there, one inside each other, right? Printed on this.
Yes.
So back to on the screen, you see here, if
Yes,
I
sir.
show you circular weighted, you look at this, these are the so many triangles on this. Right? And look at this when we do the slicing, which I shown you. The product will be made like that. You see the first layer would be look like this, the contour information. Then the first circle, second circle, right? At certain stage only the spring would be made. So here this much where is the contour, you can see this much portion will be deposited or solidified, right? And the remaining portion is unsolidified. I will show you another video in that. Right? So the first sphere, second sphere, third sphere, fourth sphere, like that it will continue, right? Look at this, at this stage three spheres are built. Right? First is second sphere complete, third, and now is the third sphere. So this much portion will be solidified. right? So this is the way we do the additive manufacturing, right? Look at this. I hope my screen is again, PowerPoint screen is again visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now let's come to the some common
Yes, sir.
manufacturing processes. So since 1987, what we have many processes developed: liquid based, solid based, then we have the powder based process, and then we have the selective laser sintering, then selective laser belting process. Right? So let's come with the fuse deposition modeling process. In fuse deposition modeling process, what we do, we have the solid based material, and that is in a two wired spool like this. So from here, two wired spool, one for the part and one for the support structure. So whenever there is a overhanging surface, we need to create the support system as well, right? So one nozzle is for part material and one nozzle for the support material. And this the complete heated chamber is there, right? So inside this build chamber, certain temperature has been maintained so that previously deposited layers are available for available so that they will be joined with the new layer, right? And then after deposition of one layer, this platform or elevator goes down by the one layer. Then from here again, you see these are the two heated rollers are there, which will push the wired spool material through this heated extrusion process, right? So here are the heaters are attached, right? And based on this, look at this process. फाइल खोलनी हो तो इसमें खोल लो, चाहिए हो ले जाना हो तो लैब ले जाओ, 10-15 मिनट चेक करके ले आओ, पूरा चेक करके ले आओ, फिर हम साइन कर देते हैं जल्दी। right? So this is the FDM process, and this is what is that the some parts. Right now we come to another process which is have the potential to become a rapid manufacturing, right? So look at this. This is the SLS process. In this case, what we have the powder particles, right? So here in this, the powder has been filled, and this powder is moving from this end to this end, the extruder head, this recoater. So powder in a layer thickness of around 150 micron has been sprayed on this, right? With this sprayed, the uniform layer has been sprayed. Then what happens? Inside you can see here, there is a galvano scanner, right? So with this galvano scanners, this laser is guided to on this pad. So this laser light comes only into the selected areas. You can see over here. These are the selected areas where this powder particle will join with each other and become a solid, right? And then remaining would be there. So what happens after one layer? This powder material goes down, right? This platform completely capped to the downwards, and then laser is again comes and solidify the selected areas in this like this situation. Then this platform goes one layer down, and then recoater again spread the powder. So this is unsintered powder, then centering in the selected areas, then going platform down. And there are some infrared heaters which keep this entire powder bed heated just below 4 or 5 degrees centigrade, less than the material, less than the melting temperature of the polymer material, right? So this process does not require any support, this kind of support, because what happens? The powder is solidified in this area, but in this area as well, unsintered powder is there. So which will provide the support to the this kind of overhanging feature. Look at this video as well. ये सुनो, कर सको चुपचाप तो कर लो. Yeah, would anybody like to respond on after this video? Any query on the process? These are some of the parts made by the SLS process. Then we come to the application part. So at this stage, if you have any query, please let me know so that we can continue further.
I think no queries, sir. Sir, please continue, sir.
Let's begin with the application part, right?
Yes, sir.
Look at this here. Some typical components. This rapid prototyping additive manufacturing process we use for various different kind of, say, for example, engine model. We can have different kind of assemblies in different colors. They can be printed. Then here, this anything we can design. We can have something in our mind, and then we can quickly move to the design part, right? Look at this, some mathematical models are there. I have zoomed it. Look at this here. These kind of models is not possible by with any other process as well, right? You see lot of gap is there, so no CNC machine can reach into this point, right? No EDM or wire cut EDM or any other process can. Only the selective laser sintering process is the possibility, so that it can be used, right? So in this case, this is the only option left for additive manufacturing processes, right? Then look at this. Sorry, look at this here. Net बंद नहीं होना चाहिए. Look at this. These are the some other components. Look at this. How you do. We all have might have done the work on the ANSYS. So you see, and the 2D images we have the colored screen, right? Now you look at this. How good if we have a geometric model in our hand, good model in our head, right? And you can rotate it. You can have it in a 3D space and with different critical regions. You can check it, right? Similarly, you look at here the complex truss geometries, right? Civil engineering, somebody from civil engineering department among the participant. Look at this, you can perform lot of flow analysis, load analysis with this truss. Now on the, you can perform various stress distribution, then mock-ups, surgical planning, etc. Then fabrication, custom prosthesis and implants. Here you see this is the fully functional hearing aid, right? Look at this. This hearing aid is fully functional, and that cannot be generalized. That cannot be produced in mass because of that. That is already there. Right, and look at this. This is a this can be made by the CT scan or MRI images of the patient, so that this will be custom fit for an individual patient, right? So this is one area of the application. Look at in other aspects. This is the hearing aid again. This is the cable fixtures, right? So look at here. This is the wall mounted fixture is there, and since the inherent characteristics that we can print the part without making any joint, and the unsintered powder which is used as a tolerance material, that can be removed after the process is completed. So you can see these are the hinges made are, but they can be rotated, they can be changed, they can be ratchet fit kind of thing, right? And you see here, this is the car seat. So people are struggling, still researching on that, how we can divide it into some small parts so that it can be fit in a work volume of a machine, right? Any 3D printing machine, so that we can join later on. Then you look at this, some of the machines will allow to have this kind of big assembly to be produced, right? So based on this big assemblies to be produced, we can do like this. with different color, we can produce such kind of machines. Am I audible to Dr. Surendra?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
please. Yeah, because what is happening, I used to take
Yes, sir.
the lectures on the Zoom. So what happens in the Zoom, when I go into the presentation mode, I can see the participant list, videos on my side panel. But when in the Google Meet, when I enter
Okay,
the
sir. Okay,
presentation
sir.
mode, I can't see anything else. So many a time I become worried whether the net is connected or not.
By IGBP. So we don't have any other option, sir.
Okay, no problem, no problem, no problem. Okay, look at this. This is the structural model, right? Another application for additive manufacturing process. Look at this, and you see on the top portion we have a lot of truss structure which can be tested, verified, etc. The internal testing can also be done, right? So many things we can do with this additive manufacturing processes, right? Looking into that, somebody was telling me about this architectural model in the civil engineering. So additive manufacturing and civil engineering, and like this, you can see these kind of architectural designs we can quickly print and have a better visualization, and we can also have a different color. So you can see this one house model, another house model in an open way like this, right? So you can see the clear picture of the stairs, etc. So we can have this kind of 3D model, right? And look at this people have developed such kind of huge 3D printers like binder jetting and material deposition method based on. So the concrete itself is deposited in like this. See a huge size of gantry printer, right? Concrete printer. So you can see here from this just a big huge factory. So these kind of walls can directly be printed using concrete. After solidification, this house can be transported, right? And now people are working so that how this can be modular design or sustainable design, so that it can be assembled at some other places. Now look at this kind of metal 3D printing we can take up, and based on this metal 3D printing, you look at this, how many parting lines would be required if this is a surface. Anybody would like to respond to this question? Here, if we go for a casting process, right? What's going to happen with this casting, and then what is going to happen with this?
Sir, my question is that
Yeah.
how will you calculate the layer thickness and its saturation level?
Yeah, layer thickness comes from the machine, and lot of many things which decide the layer thickness. Say for example, it's a powder process, SLS process. I shown you the video, right? So for layer thickness, suppose I am using 40 to 60 micron size powder particle. Okay, so to form a layer, say for example, I have a spherical balls, right? So to form a layer of a spherical balls, I need at least 3 particles should be there so that they can fill one atop each other. Otherwise, what will happen if I arrange spherical balls on my table and try to join them? Lot of porosity will be there, because in between them there is a vacant or hollow place will be there. So this particle size is 40 to 60 micron. We want at least 3 particles, one atop each other, so that we can calculate. Consider particle as a sphere, put 3 particles, one atop, so it will come around 150 micron. Not complete diameter, because there is in between space, so they go one each other, like this is one sphere, this is another sphere, right? And third sphere will come over here. Then again, fourth sphere will come over here like this. So this, in this way, it is the particle size, and if you calculate this, this will become around 150 micron, and that would be the case if this is between 40 to 60 micron. Yeah. So if we reduce the powder size, we can reduce the layer thickness, right? But reducing the powder size is also not possible. You see, this is the metal. metal piece. Powder part, polymer material to be available less than 50 micron is difficult. In this metal case, people use around 20 micron size particles, right? So the pulverization, it is a very tough task to have a steel of 20 micron size. Provisional नहीं है. Check कर ली provisional, right? June, July, August, September नहीं होगा. Okay. Look at this, another object of 3D metal 3D printing, right? So here you see how small features are there, right? With these small features, we can create some components like this, right? So these kind of small. If any other question, please ask me in between, right? I think layer part is okay, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, one more question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, how it will affect the mechanical properties of metal after
Yes, yes.
depositing? Yeah, my question is that how or it is possible to improve the mechanical properties of material?
Based on controlling the different process parameters, we can improve the part strength. We can improve the part strength, but that will certainly affect.
Okay.
That will certainly affect because there would be an inherent force. Because once we deposit the layers, there is always gap between two layers. I will show you one of the picture. Look at this, some other microfabrication kind of thing. See how small features we can produce here. And look at this, this is a flexible, just like our other ornaments. And look at this titanium screw used for biomedical applications. You see here, this is a through hole required, right? Right. So these are the screws installed within the human body. So tissues are need to pass through this, and these cannot be even made with any other process, even the wire cut, EDM, etc. You see in the horizontal also there are holes, right? Look at this, the recently such kind of rubber material using that body parts are started printing. So people use for this. Right, these are some of the, this is the recent development in the glass printing. Look at this, at 1200 degrees centigrade, the glass is printed. Right, okay, let me show you another slide so that you can understand. Before I go for any other research part, let me show you one. If in between any other question from the participant, please ask, because this subject I did PhD in this and research, doing research in last 10 years in this subject. So I would love to receive more questions on that part instead of just telling you the basics about the process, etc. Yeah. Okay.
Sir, can we use all type of composite material for this process?
Only thing, it should be extrudable from your 3D printing nozzle. Huh? Because if you use the composite material, what is going to happen? Your nozzle is of 0.5 millimeter size. So whether your composite material can be extruded from that nozzle or not, that is the challenge. Look at this here.
Okay, sir.
In this way, the material is deposited, right? Starting from here, right? On this slide, you can see, right? Can you see that material is deposited in this way, right? This is the nozzle path, right? So what is happening when it is taking turn? There is a gap, right? You see that gap. And what is happened with this gap? You have a hole here, or you have porosity into that. And the moment you have the porosity, what is going to happen? Your part density will be decreased. Got it? So this can happen in this scene. You look at any other case. Let me show you. You see, look at this. This kind of situation may happen on the bottom layer. You see the road width is high, but on some other places you see this road has become very thin, less diameter. And some of the situation like this, these two roads are going, but they are not joining in between, right? So you see here the inbuilt gap is created. If you continue to build this part, what is going to happen? This inside there will be a porosity, and because of this porosity, what will happen? Your part will become weak. Our strength is less compared to your injection molding part. Right?
Yes, sir.
See, in another situation also, if we do not control the flow properly, this kind of situation may happen. If melt flow is higher, but your speed is less, what will happen? This kind of waviness will come, and this kind of gap will be created. Similarly, here, one the diameter is very high, and here the diameter is very less. Right? So because of this situation,
Yes, sir.
look at this. What will happen? The inbuilt porosity will come into picture, and that will reduce your strength of the part. This is a matter of investigation, how the material flow synchronization can be achieved, right?
Sir, how this could be removed actually if nozzle is that thin? So if we want to extrude any, sir, if we suppose this is the drawback of 3D printing, sir, am I audible?
Yeah, Prakash Pandey. Yeah.
Hello. Yes, sir. How this could be removed? Actually, you were telling the thickness of the nozzle is, or the displacement of the material from the nozzle is very thin. So how this we could overcome if they have to extrude any material, or we have to draw any part which is having more thickness? Then at that time, what we could do, and how the nozzle design could be improved?
Yeah, why not? You can change your nozzle. Let me show you. हाँ निकाल दो, ये तो लैपटॉप बैटरी पे निकाल दो, सब निकाल दो, पूरे हटा दो। एक मिनट इसको और सेट कर देता हूँ। एक मिनट, let me show you some. Yeah. Can you see this slide and see the huge list of process parameters for FDM process?
Yes, sir.
So here you see the different things are there. The nozzle diameter is like any specific parameter. You can see the filament feed rate, the roller speed, the flow rate, the filament diameter, right? Again, the slice thickness. So if you want to thickness is 1 millimeter, right? Accordingly, you have to select the nozzle diameter. Then accordingly, you have to maintain the flow rate. So this kind of situation would be there. This is for FDM process parameters, right? Powder characteristics, binder characteristics, viscosity. Suppose you increase the nozzle and you increase the temperature, right? Your material start flowing like liquid. Yes. So there is no semi-molten state which can deposit it on a part bed, right? So you have to control many things.
Yes, sir.
in this way. And you see on a machine, you see, look at, these are the material available, these are their temperature already machine manufacturer has supplied. And then look at this, the slice thickness in this case. See, if you have the model tip, this is the nozzle tip, right? So if you use the T10, the slice height is 5 or 0.127 millimeter, right? This is basically the nozzle diameter. So whatever the nozzle diameter you take, this would become the slice thickness, right? क्योंकि जितना डायमीटर आप उसको एक्सक्लूड करेंगे उतना ही तो स्लाइस थिकनेस को पकड़ेगा. आपकी स्लाइस थिकनेस आधी तो नहीं हो सकती. अगर डायमीटर ही 1 मिलीमीटर है तो स्लाइस थिकनेस तो 0.5 मिलीमीटर पॉसिबल ही नहीं है.
Yes.
So this is how these different process parameters are related with each other, right? Okay, any more questions, please? Or let me show you one interesting applications. हाँ 10 मिनट बाद ले आओ. हाँ बुक्स 10 मिनट बाद ले आओ, बुक्स भी और चेक. Then look at this. Let me show you an interesting effect of image printing. Yeah, look at this. What we have done in this application, we have taken an image that is available in RGB, right? Then we converted that image RGB to grayscale. Then grayscale to we have taken into that in a point cloud conversion. So what happens, based on the grayscale, we have given the third dimension. अब वो सब बंद कर दो, उसको भी खोल दो. इन दोनों का अलग, ये दोनों एक स्विच पे क्या. So that we can have like this. We can give the height, and this is the image will be converted into a 3D model, right? And this is the STL file has been created and now printed. Look at this entire technique we apply for the image printing, right? So what we do, this is the RGB image, right?
Yes.
This is converted to grayscale. This is converted into the STL model. That is the nozzle path, and that is the printed of the, right? Okay, if I show something to you on my video, is it visible to you? Yeah, I think yes, my video is visible. You can see this object, right?
Sir.
Can you see these images?
Yes, sir.
Right. This is the same technique what I have shown you. We have applied for 3D printing additive manufacturing. Let me show. Yesterday, when Thakur was talking me about the sustainable design, and so I was thinking to print something which I can say it's a design for sustainable and modular design. This is basically a mobile stand, right? So yesterday I've just printed in my lab, and that can be assembled like this, right? You can have this situation, and you can put this mobile stand in this way. So these small components I have fitted for the sustainable design, right? You see, I have fitted it. This you can see it, right? Look at this. For more rigidity, we put this some more clips over here. This is printed in like this, right? This is the model. Yesterday I was also printing a 3D mask. Let me show you. Yeah, my screen is visible, so yeah, let me show some more pictures. Yeah. Yeah, please let me know if my screen is visible to you. Yeah, can you see the pictures on my side?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the mobile stand, right?
Clear vision.
Right? Look at this. This the mobile stand I have printed, and I will just show you my video. You can see it. This is on my table, and this is the mask 3D printer. We are just trying to get optimized it, not yet still completed. One first iteration. So this is another with for mouth speaking duct. We are just printing another model with TPU material, so it is flexible. This is the mobile stand I have shown you already, and look at this video. This is the 3D printed mask. Yesterday only we are printing. After listening this interesting title, the sustainable design.
Great one.
Right? So this is how we take the advantage of 3D
Yes.
printing. Look at this mobile stand like this. Let me come back to the yeah. Look at my video, you can see this is the product I was talking about, right? See, this is the new modified design. So we can do a lot of iterations and design possibility. Like this here, I found this hole is less for putting the charger inside while taking a Zoom meeting or Google Teams class. Look at this. So I have modified this design, right? You see it like this, and we created this gap so that now
Yes,
in
sir.
this hole we can put the charger cable, etc. Right? And then this mobile will be stand like this. So the charger cable will come from here, and you can see like. So this is how
Oh,
it helps in making many more design iterations to be done, right? So if any more queries, please let me know. Yeah, Professor Thakur, or else we can close. This is huge to discuss,
Okay,
but
sir.
I think already.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us very depth in knowledge about rapid prototyping and how it will be used for 3D printing and other applications. Sir, for sharing your valuable time with us. Thank you, sir. I would like to invite Professor Madhur Pataria for share his views. Professor Madhur, are you listening? Uh,
I think he is not available. Sir, I think
uh,
your one of the research was with
oh,
actually one of your MTech scholar Mohan Khandagre. So he was involved in the project of solar steel, and I think you guided that. And the article was recently in any newspaper. So really, that was also really good and appreciative.
uh, uh, hello, Madhur, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Madhur,
Sir,
sir.
Yes, sir, I can.
I
I can.
think Prashant, sir, I
Hello.
think Prashant sir has left.
हाँ
Okay,
सर सुन रहा हूँ सुन रहा हूँ
okay, sir.
मधुर सर शायद प्रशांत सर अभी जुड़े नहीं हैं, प्लीज एक बार आप चेक कर लें.
I think Prashant sir left.
सुरेंसो सुरेंसो
अच्छा अच्छा हाँ ज्वाइन कर हाँ ओके ओके सर ओके सर सर हेलो हेलो मधु
जी सर, जी सर।
I can listen you. I can listen you.
please
Hello.
So, sir, the lecture is done now.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. Please, I have
जी.
completed. Yeah.
Sir, as you said that a picture says 1,000 words. Yeah, it does. But sometimes, words are not enough to express the gratitude. The gratitude one feel for another. The gratitude what we are feeling for you. Recent research trends in additive manufacturing. It was one of the most important and complicated topics simultaneously. But with great ease, you delivered that. And it is commendable. The live examples, the slides you present, the explanation, the way of delivery, and of course, your style of interaction with participants brought the session to the next level. Dr. Prashant Kumar Jain, Associate Professor, Mechanical Department of IIIT TDM, Jabalpur. I feel an immense pleasure. I owe my gratitude and thankfulness on behalf of whole VGI group, all the members, the fraternity,